All right, welcome back to the hood. Welcome back to Chill on the Green Box with Specs Thompson and the View. And once again, my co-host, he's not here, and he's battling the villain this time. I thought I could at least get him for this is my second Nigerian guest, but he's always so busy. But at least he ain't doing nothing teenager-wise. He's actually doing some superhero work, so I give him that.
Yeah.
But thank you, man. Thank you for coming on the show anyway.
Thank you, Thompson. Can I call you Thompson?
You can call me Thompson or Specs, either or.
Specs. Okay, yeah. Specs. Specs sounds cool. I like Specs.
Yeah, that's why I picked the name. It sounds like a cool name, right?
Yeah. It does. It does.
All right.
All right.
For the people who don't know about you, give people a little brief information about you.
Okay, so Ejob, Nathanael. It's actually a Cameroonian name. You said Nigeria. I'm actually from Cameroon. Cameroon is
Cameroon.
just.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Cameroon is east of Nigeria, so we're neighbors. So yeah. I run a comic book company called Zebra Comics. We have a mobile application called Zebra Comics. We have currently over 70,000 users. So we are currently the biggest comic book app in Africa right now. I have a team of 21. We're actually a registered company right here in Cameroon. We are 21 individuals. We are artists. We are writers. We are marketers. So it's a whole setup. I could give you a special tour later if you're interested. But I think that's what I am in summary. I'm nothing much. I am just managing the company, and I draw from time to time. I like drawing too. I was an artist first before I created this. Yeah.
Okay, we talk about that more later on the show, but once again, thanks for coming on. Sorry about missing the country thing. You never know.
Cool.
Outside looking in, you never know. But
cool. We're brothers. Nigeria, Cameroon, we're brothers.
Okay. All right. So I'm pretty sure you're not familiar with the green box. I pretty sure that's an American thing, but in the regional thing in America, because some of my guests they don't even know about it as well. But in Southern America or the East Coast of America, it is green electrical boxes that be inside neighborhoods. And as children or as teenagers or whatnot, you would hang out on them. For doing interviews, I found out we hang out on them because there was a bus stops. We would go there to get picked up from to go to school. So that's why we so accustomed to going to them and hanging out later on after school. But you would just hang out on that green box, Yeah, we hang on the green box and talk to your friends and discuss ideas and concepts and break things down. So on this portion of the show, I'm gonna break down your brain with some icebreaker questions so people know more about you.
Sure. Right on, bro.
So you ready? All right.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So if given the chance of being the best at your worst job or the worst at your dream job, which would you choose?
The best. Come again. The best at my worst job.
Yep.
Or the worst.
Or the worst at your dream job.
I think I'll go for the second one. I'd rather be the worst at my dream job. Yeah. Because I think with some determination I can improve and stop being the worst at my dream job. But it's my dream job. But the other one I may be the best at it, but I don't really like it. That is actually how my life used to be in the past. I used to do something I didn't like. I used to work in insurance. I was really good at it, but I hated it. I hated it. Hated it, bro. So when I finally got around to setting up my company, it took me around 8 years to finally make things happen. But now I do what I like to do. I do comics full time. For those who don't know, I do it full time. I don't have another job. I do is comics. Comics, Zebra Comics. That's my whole life. Nothing else. I don't have another job I'm doing, so it's just Zebra. Yeah, I'd rather be worse at Zebra than anything else.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if you'll get the term, but we see. Our next question is, what do you geek out about?
Oh man, that is a big one because I geek out about a lot of stuff, especially movies, movies in particular, comics. You see, I have a very narrow existence in the sense that my world is just around geek stuff, you know. So it's movies,
Mm-hmm.
comics, uh, maybe some music, but not so much. I'm not really a music guy, but it's really more about movies and comics. It's just that's my world.
Okay.
That's just where I live. You know, I can talk about comics all day. I could
Okay.
talk about movies all day. You know, yeah. I love stories, man.
All right. Did you watch the new Spider-Man movie yet?
No, not yet, not yet.
Oh
I really
man.
haven't had time to go to the theater yet. It came out I think a couple of weeks ago. Oh man, I haven't had
Mm-hmm.
time to go yet. It's been crazy right here at ZERBA. It's been crazy. We've been churning out content every day, so it's crazy. Recently, we decided to be very consistent. It's been crazy. So I'm trying to create a momentum to create some momentum, and then I can have some time for myself. I'm working weekends. I'm working all the week, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, but
Hey,
I do get
it
some good
costs to be
stuff
the
about
boss,
it,
huh?
bro. I don't want to be it, but I have to. I have to
Yeah.
right now. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely gonna watch
All
it
right.
because I see some good stuff about it. I've seen some snippets online, and I'm running away from anything that has to do with Spider-Man on social media. I don't want no spoilers. Everybody
Wait,
zip it.
it's been out for a while, so you might catch little spoilers. But
Yeah,
before I watched it, the major spoilers in the movie nobody
hmm,
talked about. So
yeah,
I never knew. So when I saw the movie, I was like, man, nobody spoiled this for me. But yeah,
yeah,
you like
yeah.
people did a
I
good job
hear.
not.
Oh yeah, there are like at least two versions of Spider-Man or of the movie. There are like two versions of it. It's like it's like they're trying to mimic the multiverse with the releases. Like today you can see it in a different way, or something else happens in this version, and that it's kind of cool. I'm really excited. I'm pretty sure I'm going to see a lot of versions of this stuff.
Okay, okay. All right. My last question for this segment. Um, what's something that you really admire about your team?
Oh, bro, I could talk on forever about my team. So get this straight, huh? I started 8 years ago, right? My team. I did like a free training in my neighborhood because I was trying to get a team. So I had like 30 young people, girls, boys, 30 guys who were interested in comics, right? In joining me. So after the training, so I sat the guys down after the training. It was like 2 weeks intensive. After that, I told them that okay, guys, we I want to build a company called Zebra Comics. But there's no money in it right now. You know, we're going to have there's going to we really need to be patient to get any returns from this. And you know, comics is a tough business. We might not make the money we think we are going to get. I lost about 70% after that meeting. Everybody left, and I ended up with seven guys, six guys, one lady that have been with me, that with me throughout the challenges, and I named them co-founders. So we have been together for 8 years straight, and these guys, they've been with me throughout, man, throughout, non-stop. They saw the vision, they stuck by
That's
my
great.
side. Yeah, yeah. Now I don't play with these people. They're my family, man. They're my family. They're my team. I cherish them. Now for like I said, we are 21 now. It means obviously we employed other people. But the seven people that I started this thing with, and those are the guys, the core, but like a very tight family. It's difficult to come break us apart. People have come trying to sneak in, you know, try to divide, conquer. At times, it doesn't work. So I have a very tight team of co-founders I'm so proud of. They're my strength and my own. But with the employees, regular employees, they're here probably because we're paying them for it. But the real team is 8 strong people. The rest are mostly employed. So yeah, my team is great, man. I like them. The strength of every structure is the people inside. That's what I believe. If you have a strong team, you find a reason to live, find a reason to keep fighting. So yeah, that's what I can say, man. Yo, Specs, are we still out? Am I still online?
Okay. All right. That's dope, man. I'm glad you found people that actually stood by your side, with no money, and now y'all making money and making comics like I want to. So that's dope. Yeah. That's real dope.
It's crazy, man. It's been a journey.
All right. Yeah. So that was in the next segment. I can move on to my next segment, which is called the back issues. Being in comics, all about back issues. Yeah. But for people who don't know, the back issues are for origin stories. If you want to know about a character's origin story, you go back in their back issues. Like if you want to know about the Venom, you go to his origin stories. Or his back issues to find out about his origin story. So right now we're gonna go in your back issues to find out more about your origin story.
Okay, cool.
So you ready? All right.
Yeah, I'm ready, bro.
So wait. All right. So where are you from, and what do you call your hood?
Oh, okay. I'm from Cameroon. That's Central Africa. It's a country, Central Africa, right? Now, I was born in a town called Batibo. It's interesting, eh? Batibo. You probably never heard of that. I didn't spend a lot of years there. I think
so how far away is it?
Bro, it's really, really far. It's really, really far, at least for where I am right now. I'm in the economic capital of Cameroon right now. It's called Douala. It's really far. It's in another state in Cameroon, in another region. So I'm really far from home, from where I was born. Really far. But home is wherever my people are.
Okay.
I'm in the same country, never anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, but that's just where I'm from. I don't know if you want me to add more flesh to that, but
you can. I guess it's small towns. You said small town. You broke it up, so I didn't really hear you. But you said is it a small town or a small village?
Yeah, it's a small town. It's a small town.
Okay.
In the northwest region of Cameroon. Right now, I'm in the littoral region. The littoral region in the capital city called Douala. So that's where I am now. It's quite far. I'm almost close to the center of the country, but I was born in the far north. In the northwest. So it's really far. Yeah, I could go into my childhood and all that, but that'll take a while. Yeah.
What brought you here, or brought you there? I guess.
First it was school. Now it's work.
Okay.
So I came this way for my university studies, so I could do my master's degree and all that. And eventually, when I created ZERBA Comics, I'm in the economic capital of the country. This is where most things happen in our country as far as economics are concerned. So I say, hey, if I want to start a business, this is where I have to start it. So it's quite far from home, but it's the right place for me to have a business of this structure or of this type.
Do you ever go back up there and visit?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you an interesting story. No. You know why? You don't hear this in the news,
Why?
obviously. You're in the United States, so you don't hear this in the news. But there is a conflict in Cameroon right now, okay? Cameroon, it goes very far as our history. You know, Cameroon, we speak English, we speak French, right? So in the past, our colonial masters were both the French and the English. So that means there are two systems in the country. Cameroon is the only bilingual country in Africa. So there are two systems. There's the French system, the English system. I was born in the English side. I do speak French, but I was born in the English side. So the English part of the country is the minority, is like 20%, and the French part is like 80%. So across the years since the colonial days, the English people of the minority have always felt marginalized, you know. It's all very political. So recently, for the past 5 years, there has actually been armed conflict, where the English part is trying to secede from the government or gain their own independence. That no, you guys are not treating us well, you know. But the thing is, it has so many layers that I'm just oversimplifying it, because right now I'm in the French part of the country. We live well with our French brothers. So it's just politicians doing their fighting, you know. It doesn't really matter to some of us. I could go home, but I'm scared, man. I don't know.
Okay.
They could be gunshots someday. So I don't want to even be around home right now until the conflict is resolved and everything is okay. But relatively where I am, there is peace, there is calm. The country, 80% of all the regions is peaceful. It's just that these political groups are fighting each other. And it's not nice to be in the crossfire. You never know. So just avoid that area altogether. Unfortunately, it's where I was born, so I'm not going there anytime soon. Fortunately.
Okay.
It is what it is, man. Right. Politics.
Yeah, man. I understand. Totally. You said you don't listen to music that much, but you do listen to music. So what type of music what type of music or artist got you liking music in general?
I listen to a lot of Afrobeats, and I used to listen to hip hop, but not recently, not so much. I listen more of hip hop in the late 2000s and the 90s.
Okay.
Hip hop between the 90s, R&B between the 90s and the late 2000 and the early 2000s. Sorry. But right now, what really has me going is Afrobeats, and that's my main interest. But I kind of listen to a bit of everything, to be honest, because I listen to even country music. It's weird. I listen to everything, anything that sounds nice to me, that has maybe some good lyrics. I listen to it. So I'm not really particular, but if I was to pick my top genre, I would say Afrobeats. But I listen to everything, to be honest.
What artists
I really listen to movie themes. I got Burna Boy, Davido, I got Tiwa Savage, I got I got Wizkid, I got Bianca. Bianca is Cameroonian. There are a lot of them. I could go on and on and on. Most of them are.
I kind of just got into Afrobeats. I've probably been listening to Afrobeats for probably about a year now. So I'm getting accustomed to it because it kind of sounds like reggae music, kind of, you know.
I listen to reggae too. Everything. Bob Marley, you know, I can listen to everything. Lucky Dube, everything, man. Everything. But
okay.
It just depends on how good the lyrics are or the sound is. I listen to everything. Everything.
Okay. All right. That's dope. That's real dope. Comics. what comic book or comic related TV show got you into doing comics?
Now, I would, yeah, I would, okay. I like the question. What comic got me into comics? It wasn't really about TV shows that or movies that got me into comics. It was actually the books themselves. So when I was young, I was growing up in Patsibo. We didn't have access to comics. Even now in Cameroon, we don't have access to a lot of comics. It's not something that you find all over the place. Our community now is more into digital, but before, even hard paper was not easy to come by. But I was kind of fortunate to get hard copy papers, paper comics, because my dad was very much into literature. I don't know, I can't tell you where he got his books from, but we had a lot of books like I don't know. We had Spider-Man, we had Batman, we had Marvel, DC comics all over the place. I still can't tell you where he got them from because at that time, that was like in the early 90s. I don't know where he got them from. But he was someone who was always like books. He always loved books, and he knew that this thing would be good for his kids. That's how I got introduced into comics. Now the comic that really got me thinking that I could do my own stuff too. It's Batman. Batman was a character that got me really interested into comics. I was so interested in his backstory. He was looking so cool. Batman is so cool, man. And I almost forgot, there was Spider-Man. I used to watch Sesame Street. On Sesame Street, they used to have some segment where they show some kind of videos of Spider-Man. I can't remember how it was, but it was like, it wasn't really well done, but it was about Spider-Man. And then, fortunately, I also had some comics of Spider-Man. Batman was my top guy, then next was Spider-Man. Now, these are the guys that got me into comics.
Okay.
Understand?
All right. That's cool. That's cool.
I mean, I still like them to today, especially Batman. Batman is such a cool character. Okay, let me pause here before I start geeking out, okay? I'm about to start geeking out. So.
All right. All right. That's dope, man. That's dope. Well, talking about geeking out, when did you find out that you were a geek or a nerd?
Bro, I didn't find out. I've always just been one. I've always just been one. Yeah, okay. I was in school, right? I was a kid in school, right? Like I said, comics were not a regular thing in our environment. Like in the US, you guys had like comic book shops and all over the place. We didn't have any of that. I just happened to grow up in a family where we had a home library and a lot of books. I still don't know where Dad got that from. Thanks for him for that. So I'm in school, right? Now I'm talking to my guys. I'm like, I got a Spider-Man comic. I got it Batman comic. We get that. What the hell is that, man? What are you talking about? They are talking to me about Nigerian movies, and I say, yeah, Nigerian movies are cool, but I got comics. I need to see these things. So guys, I used to have a lot of guys coming back to my place, used to come and read my comics with me. We'll geek out together. So I wasn't really seen like a nerd per se. I was just seen more like a guy who had access to things that a lot of guys didn't have around him. So it was kind of interesting because I was actually getting new friends. A lot of guys who want to come to our place. Yeah, to come find out what comics are. And we all were just geeking out together. So much so that when we go to school, we're talking about comics. The other guys in the class are like, what are they talking about? And they see us drawing, they're drawing weird things. This guy, look at his face. He doesn't have a mouth. What is that? That's Spider-Man. Spider what? How are a bunch of you guys so crazy? It was always like that in school, where any class we went to, I always had a clique of guys that I had contaminated into liking comics. So yeah, it was like that.
Nah, that's cool. That's cool.
Like that.
All right. Well, that's all I got. I want to go into my next segment and ask you more questions. But
Yeah.
our next segment is called hotkeys. You know, being in comics, you know all about hotkeys. You know, key issues when a new artist or a new author, a new character get introduced. Nowadays, it might be a key issue if a new story take a storyline and make it to a TV show or movie nowadays. So you want them issues because they work for some money. But as for music, DJs have buttons on their turntables. They can press when they trigger certain songs. It could be Friday night, and they want to hit that. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. It's Friday night. You want to cue that song up during a party or something.
And it's so Friday this part today, bro.
Yep.
Don't get me started.
Yep. Yep. So in this part of the show, we're gonna highlight certain questions and things you want people to know in general about you and what you do. So you ready?
Okay, cool. I'm ready, bro.
All right. So, okay. First question you gave me, or thing you want to talk about. You're talking about the power of African comics.
Yeah.
Since you grew up, you had American comics. So it's been like 20 years since then. So how is African comics and the power of that? What do you believe in that?
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to take it from the angle of the need for African comics and talk about its power. Growing up as a kid, right, I enjoyed a lot of American comics. I enjoyed a lot of manga. I enjoyed a lot of Franco-French Belgian comics. So one thing I realized is that when you enjoy a particular story, you kind of want to identify with the characters. You kind of you see yourself as Batman. You see yourself like a superhero. It inspires you to do things because my whole business exists today because of comics. Yes, I'm also inside comics, but you get the point. It inspired me to do more, to do more for my community, to do more for myself, because where I grew up, when a child is growing up, there's a path created for that child. The path is usually around, we want you to be a lawyer, we want you to be an engineer, we want you to be a doctor, we want you to this cliche jobs that are every parent wants a child to be at this. So now I grew up I grew up and I said, okay, I was actually studying law. Actually have a law degree, master's degree, but I wanted to do comics. But I was inspired to do comics. Comics made me want to do something different. So I think that, and today I have 21 employees working full-time on comics. I've created a system that works in our community that can gainfully employ artists and writers, which is a reality that doesn't exist at random all over the world. Where our setup is something that you find maybe in a lot of big companies, but we're doing it right here in Africa. How is that possible? Comics. So what I'm trying to say is, with African comics, we can inspire young people to be better than who they think they can be right now. You understand? Because I grew up, I used to see the way Africa is depicted in American comics, for instance, even in European comics, manga, and I'm like, bruh, that is not Africa. We don't do that. Understand? I'll give an example. There's a comic, I can't remember which issue it was, but I think it was Marvel comic. I don't know if it was Spider-Man. I don't remember the issue anyway. But one thing that I will never forget is I saw a bunch of heroes. It was probably Spider-Man and a bunch of heroes inside a Jeep, right? And he was driving through a forest, right? He was there with other superheroes. They were driving through a forest. And then I saw this caption written on it, Lagos, Nigeria. And inside the forest, I could see zebras, I could see giraffes. And I'm like, bro, I've never seen a giraffe in Lagos. I've never seen a zebra in Lagos. I'm like, what did they think, that we live with the animals? And I'm like, yeah, animals do exist, but they are in parks, they're in specific locations, right? It's not like we're living with them. And I'm like, no, they don't get it. This is not Africa. This is not us. I mean, we got cities here too, So I saw all of this stuff, and I'm like, nah, we have to tell our own stories, man. We have to show the world that there is more to us than what is being portrayed on Western media, be it comics, movies, and all that. And I also noticed that they will only show maybe the warlords, the poverty, and I'm like, bruh, I'm not starving. Are you starving? No. Do you know anybody who has been starving for the past 20 years? No. Have you ever seen any child who looks like this? There's always this child with a big head, and then there's a fly around his face. Yeah. He's starving. And I'm like,
exactly.
Bro, have you ever seen anybody like this? I don't know. So,
and me and my friends got a funny story about the kid, right? So they have the commercial says $1 a day feeds his kid or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So if 100 people or 1,000 people give that one kid $1 a day, that kid's gonna be rich by the time he's 10.
That's a good one. I'm stealing that joke. Yeah. No, I'm not saying there is no poverty in Africa. Of course there is. But there is poverty all over the world, man. I'm pretty sure there are homeless people in the States. I'm pretty sure there are poor people all over the place. So it's not an African thing, it's a global thing, It just happens that we don't have that media power to show the good side of our continent. So that is where the need for African stories come in. That's why we exist as African writers or African artists or African creators, to show you the part of Africa that you don't see every day. We also have stories in fantasy, science fiction. We have all of these things too, guys. We're not running naked around. So it's the need for African comics is basically to show that there is more about our continent. It's also to inspire our youth in Africa, because mind you, what you see is going to define how you act a lot of the times. I'm going to give an example. Yesterday, a friend told me that, bro, do you know that people still take ships or canoes and go through the Mediterranean to go to Europe? They still suffer, some still drown, that thing still happens. I'm like, bro, it's just because Africans don't know their own value. You understand? They don't know that, well, not all of us, a lot of Africans don't still see their value. Yes, someone may be running from conflicts and all that, like I just told you, right? And there's a conflict in my home place. Yeah, we have people that have fled. Technically, I fled too, right? Technically, if you think about it. Yeah, but I fled to another town in my country because there is value in my country. I can explore the resources in my country and explore the opportunities in my country. Now, where my problem is, where people leave Africa entirely, thinking that they can only make it out there in Europe. Hey, anybody? Yeah, you probably can, but bro, my point is to show you that there is value in your continent. Build your continent. Make other people want to come to your continent. See the value in it. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show people the value. I'm trying to show them the gold that's in the backyard. People not seeing it. I could have started zebra comics anywhere in the world. What about the African kids who are so talented and they can do this? So we have the resources. The whole point of African stories really is to sensitize African youth, show them fantasy, show them science fiction that inspires them to be better than they are today, to know that the environment will be more than just what they think it is. Because the more they keep consuming content out there that keeps denigrating them, they keep thinking that they're actually low or in the human existence, or think that the value is not that high. But if you show them that they have power, that they have value, they will start seeing the value in their environment, and they will start making use of it. We have the Chinese coming here, the Americans coming here, taking the resources, enriching themselves, and Africans are running away from Africa to go to Europe. It's funny. So,
yeah,
we too can also make use of our resources. But the way to start it, there's one thing I admire about the United States. America understood from a very long time ago the power of stories. They understood the power of stories. They understood that if you tell good stories, if you tell inspiring stories, it's soft power, right? You inspire an entire generation. We have I can use Japan too as a similar example. Look at what is happening in Japan now. Look at South Korea. Inspired by good stories. We just have to do the same thing, man. The formula is already there. We don't have to create fire. You inspire people with good stories. You're going to change a generation to think better of themselves, and then they will make the environment remarkable. That's the power of African comics, man. That's what the power we have in our hands.
Yeah. You speak about stories. Most American stories, are like the cowboy stories or the war stories, or like the vigilante stories.
Yeah.
In Africa, what would be your stories you'll write about? Because it's so many things. So much internal conflict. So, what would you really write about? What stories would you write about?
So we write about a bit of everything. What do I mean? There are many facets in life. There are things that affect politics, can affect you. Maybe romance can affect you. A lot of things. So to inspire our readers, what we usually do is we take stories like, let's say, African heroes in the past, for instance, Shaka Zulu. Anyway, we don't have a story on Shaka Zulu yet, but I'll give you a good example. We have this story called Kush. Kush is about the kingdom of Kush, and it's particularly about this queen called Amanirenas. So Amanirenas was a queen in Kush. She had an army so powerful the Romans could not defeat her. Now that is the story worth telling. The Romans were the superpower at the time. They conquered Egypt, but when they came south, the Kushites defeated them. They fought for, I think, about 5 years, and they came to a stalemate. The Romans could not defeat the Kushites, and they were led by a lady. This lady was charging into battle with a man. She even lost an eye in the process. It's such an inspiring story. So I had to tell that story. So I started I started a series called Kush. It is not there yet. It's not yet at this climax, but it is going gradually. We're releasing gradually. But it's stories like this to show that, look, Africa has always been strong. Now, let me remind you that Africa has always been strong. How do I remind you? I go into our history. I pick people that did remarkable things. I mean, Rome at the time was like the America in that time. It was the superpower back then. Now, imagine America, let's say, fighting with, let's say, what is an American neighbor? Let's say Mexico, right? Let's say they're in an all-out war of conquest. But America does not succeed at all to defeat Mexico. As a matter of fact, Mexico is winning America. Now, that's weird, right? I mean, imagine a small kingdom as Kush defeating Rome. So much so that Rome had to come into a compromise with the kingdom of Kush, where they came to an agreement where Rome would not encroach into Kushite territory. Rome will not ask for tributes from the Kushites. I mean, the deal was so fantastic. And it was led by a very powerful lady called Amanirenas. Now, that's the story that's worth telling.
Okay.
So that's how those are the kind of stories we tell. We were inspired by, powerful characters in our history, And we also imagine stuff. We have science fiction too. We have Afrofuturism. One of there's a story I created called Anarchy. Anarchy has about 13,000 readers right now. And it's a science fiction story, Afrofuturistic. It's about this girl. She's the last witch of her line. She didn't know that she was a witch until something happened that provoked anger, and then her powers emerged. I won't go into a lot into details, but I'm just trying to show you that we explore a bit of everything, a bit of everything. We even have romance. We actually just launched our first romance set of romance stories this week, and yeah, we're exploring other genres. We are doing romance because we had a lot of lady readers telling us that, hey guys, everything I see is so macho. Do some romance, do some, something for the girls. So we decided that, okay, ladies, we're going to do something for you guys. What do you guys want? We did a survey, and the ladies said that they like romance, they like contemporary stories. The guys like superheroes, and they like people punching each other in the face. But we want something more softer. So we decided to create that because the ladies were getting feedback from our female population that they wanted contemporary, they wanted romance. So we touch a bit about everything. Of everything.
All right, that's cool. Your Zebra Comics, you right?
Yeah.
Since you had it, have you seen a benefit from it? Because I know you have your own app, so people can, or website, I don't know, so people can read your books. So have you seen a benefit in the community, or I guess in Africa in general because of your books, or?
Yeah. The good thing with having an app is you get real life data, real time data, that tells you what is happening, that you can interpret, and then you can interpret, and it informs you what is actually happening in the field. So Zebra Comics, we launched our second app. This is actually a reboot of our first app. Our first app didn't do well. We had like 1,000 users, and that was it. It wasn't growing at all. People hated it. People hated the app. It was not user friendly, and my guys were almost discouraged. I said, "No, this is good feedback. This is good feedback. If people hate it, it means they are frustrated. It means they wanted something better. It means they have the need for it, but they were frustrated because we didn't satisfy that need. So now we have learned, let's go fix it." So last year, September, after we built this app for about 2 years, we were testing and all that testing. And to be honest, our development team was kind of slow because they had other projects. We had to hire another company to do it for us. They were kind of slow, but eventually we came out we found a momentum that works for both of us. And so 2 years later, we came up with this app. So between September and December in 2022, we had over 10,000 users. Now,
wow,
that was really shocking. We were so happy. Means Nigeria was topping the charts, second by our home country, Cameroon, and South Africa, and other Kenya, Egypt, Morocco. We were getting users from all around the continent, even the United States too. I don't know how you guys always find things around you guys always tend to find stuff. So right now, United States is number 3. I don't know how you guys do it to be number 3 because we are not marketing in the US yet, but somehow. Anyway, as far as Africa is concerned, the growth, I won't say it has been exponential, but it has been steady. We are now at 70,000 users in Africa. So it's actually one of the most used I think after Webtoon is one of the most used comic book apps in Africa right now, Zebra. Nigeria still top in the chart. We're actually number 1 in Nigeria as far as comic book apps are concerned. That means we're even above Webtoon in Africa. In Nigeria, sorry. So the feedback we get from maybe reviews, maybe on Google Play or App Store. We have more of Android users than iOS users because Africa is actually 80% Android.
Okay.
Yeah. So you find out that more of our users in Africa are Android. So the feedback we get a lot of positive feedback as well as a lot of negative feedback. Thankfully, the negative feedback is like 10%, thankfully. But the negative feedback is usually around user experience. So, apps always tend to have some bugs here and from time to time. So we make sure that we always get back to the people and say, hey, we fixed that bug. We fixed it now. Check it out now. So as far as impacting our community is concerned, when you go to an event in, let's say, Cameroon, right? Because we do have comic book events in our country, we actually have like 2 coming up in this month. So when you go to these events, at times maybe we have not picked up a table, but you always find zebra present there somehow. You find someone talking about zebra. It means that people are actually using the platform. People are actually using our stuff, and we don't know a lot of these people, obviously. So it means we are getting out there. We're getting out there. Social media, we get. Yeah. So I was saying that when you go to a convention in Cameroon, right, you find a lot of zebra presence. What do I mean? I'm not saying that. Obviously, we usually take stands. When I say zebra presence, I mean fans. Fans of zebra. Probably with t-shirts, with the apps, and I'm like, okay, cool. People using this thing. I can see it, right? They don't know that you are the one behind this stuff, which is great. But they are into it, right? You go on social media, you see people. We have a lot of Nigerian comic book groups. I'm Cameroonian, obviously, but obviously Africa is Africa. We're all together. So there's a lot of Nigerian comic book groups. You see people, they talk about the zebra, they talk about the stories coming from the studio, It tells you that it's going out there, that at least you're creating some impact on the continent, So, I think in summary, I've spoken a lot. I think in summary, that's the impact of zebra on our community.
Okay.
You can clearly see comic book readers using it.
That's great. I don't know. I seen a post from a African creator or owner. I don't know if it was you or another guy. I can't remember. But they made a post about hiring people or working with people outside of Africa because of issues. I can relate because my first artist, he was from Nigeria, and it was a lot of issues with that. But with you having your own company and you have about 21 workers for you, would you hire outside artists or writers to work for you or no?
I would if they come to me with a good proposition, if they do. But they wouldn't necessarily be my first choice, in the sense that, okay, what I don't know who you were talking about, but that wasn't me.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't think, so yeah.
Yeah. There is a problem. I understand why that person made that comment, because it is an actual problem where you give a project to maybe a creator, an artist in Africa, and he cannot deliver in time, or he probably doesn't even deliver at all. It is a real problem. So I too have faced that problem, and I think I still face it sometimes. So the way to solve the problem, or the way I solved that problem, was to create a space where they can come and work, and I see them. So that's how I function. So I have employees. They come, I see them every day. I see you guys working. I give my chief operation officer, he has tasks. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. You're not going to be told what to do. Everybody, we have a whole roster. We know what needs to be done. Everybody's on point. So that cancels that problem where you have to start running behind an artist. Hey, how far have you gone with this story, this script, and all that? Nah, I just need to walk down to the studio and see the guys. Okay, how far are you with this story? There it's more efficient because you can monitor progress on the ground because you're there. Everybody is present in front of you. I could give you a tour of the studio after this if you're interested. Let you see the guys working. I think it'll be really cool. Yeah. So you can see everyone working in real time. That's when COVID hit, it was really challenging because I knew that we were really going to face problem keeping up with people to get that done. So we had to come to the office, do some social distancing, but we had to come to the office because there was no way we were working at home. It was not going to be effective. Work from home with what we do with comics right now is not really an effective strategy for us in Africa right now. So that is how I had to solve the problem. Create a space, employ those guys, let them work here in that space while so that work is done.
Okay. With me being in America, for me to get my book into the hands of people in Cameroon or Nigeria or wherever, would I have to go through a publisher like you, or can I touch people and myself, or would I have to go through somebody like you?
No. You can do it yourself, but I'm not gonna lie, it's going to be difficult because you may not understand who to sell to. Like I said, Cameroon is not like we don't have comic book shops. We don't have any of those stuff. We don't have any of them. So how do we sell hard copies? We create local events where we sell hard copies. Like every weekend, you can have a local event. You go there, you meet guys selling comics. They are comics. So you could go through those guys. You could go through publishers like us. We could sell comics. But the problem is right now, ZERBA is not actually selling hard copies right now. We only sell at events. Our business model right now is geared only towards digital. That's our primary focus. So if someone were to sell a comic through us, they will have to convert it to digital, or if they didn't create it digitally, they will have to create a digital version, and we sell for them. I'm going to let you up on an exclusive information that is for you and your listeners. We haven't rolled it out yet, but just for the sake of this podcast, I'm going to lay it out there so other people know what's coming up. So we are creating a business model for what we call third-party creators. Anybody that's not inside ZERBA. What is going to happen is we are not going to sell hard copies. We're going to sell the digital version of the comics. But this is how it's going to happen. Let's say you give me a Legacy of the View, for instance. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put it in the app. All right. For every 1,000 views that you generate, we're going to pay you an amount of money. I don't know how much yet. We're still trying to work the details of that because it's something. It's how we earn. It's the same way we make money. So we want to use that same method and extend it to third-party creators. But we have to figure out how we are going to pay them. So that's why we have not yet rolled out the carpet yet for everyone else. But we are working on it. I think in 2 or 3 months, it should be ready. So for every couple thousand views, you're going to be paid a certain amount of money for that because your views are generating income. We're paying you from the money you're generating to as well. And since we're building the platform with 70,000 users, we estimate by August we'll be at 100K. We'll be at 100K users because we from the dashboard we can monitor our growth rate. We know that by August we'll be at 100K. So we are growing. We know that our platform is going to grow so much so that we will attract other people. Other people want to come and sell. So we are already preparing the ground to welcome others. So I'm just telling you this. It's not public information yet.
Okay.
You can share with your users, but it's the privileged information for listening to your podcast.
All right.
So creators, no matter who you are, you'll be able to earn with Zebra comics, but there is a catch. It has to be African. What do I mean? It could be black created by an African American, no problem. But you have to stick with African values and culture. What Americans have their values, they have their cultures. They may have some things in their culture that conflict with African values and culture. Now, those are the type of things that we need to sit down and discuss with third-party creators to find out and tell them that, look, this is what Africans believe in. This is what they would like to see. So make sure that your story... So it's a kind of like a censorship, right?
Yeah.
To make sure that it's tailored for an African audience. Because the moment Africans see a kind of philosophy they don't agree with, the app fails. They'll be like, damn that app, man. It believes in some Western ideas we don't believe in. We don't want that. We have seen that a lot with Nigerian content where you bring an idea that Westerners agree with, but Africans don't want.
What would be a red flag on that?
An idea would be something like divorce.
Oh, okay.
Africans, we don't believe in divorce. We marry for we take marriage more seriously than Westerners. So to put things like that. In any case, we're preparing a document that will state what Africans don't believe in, so that you don't go and annoy Africans instead of making them happy with your content. So, because when I watch a lot of American movies, I see divorce is kind of like a normal thing. People get divorced all the time, and yeah, we stick it out. Yeah, we live through thin and thin. So, and there are a lot of cultural things that when you want to sell to someone, you have to understand that person's culture. Even Americans understand this. When Americans make movies, they know that there's some type of things that Chinese don't agree with, for instance, and then they may exclude certain things from maybe their movies and all that, not to annoy the Chinese. It's the same. It's just the same with Africa. Everybody has some things that they don't, some hot topics, for instance, I don't know, like marriage and all that. The way Africans see it is different from the way Americans see it. So we welcome all African contents or African-related contents. But if you're not African, we need to sit down and go through your stuff to make sure that you make Africans happy, not annoying them. Because at the end of the day, Zebra Comics is really about Africans. It's really about promoting African values, promoting African culture, showing a positive image of Africa to the world, showing the side of Africa that people don't even know exists. So yeah.
All right, with your app or with your comics in general, do you do an English version and a French version?
Yeah. Actually, that's what we do. We do the English version first, and then we translate into French. We have 2 professional French translators working with us. The advantage of working in Cameroon is that we have two official languages, English and French. So, like I said, I speak French too. I speak English too. So, if I'm producing a comic for a Cameroonian and I don't produce it in French, then I'm only going to sell to like 20% of the population. You see, so the French speakers need to also consume our content in French. Now, we're also thinking of exploring local African languages like Kiswahili and all that. But that will come along the line.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. This is my last question. Well, second to last question.
Hey.
So
okay.
Second to last. So how do you feel about the Black Panther before and after the movie? Because before, me being a Black American, I didn't care nothing about Black Panther. He was like just a black version of Iron Man. I didn't really care. But seeing the movie, I seen a whole different side, and I'm pretty sure you're being in Africa and being a comic reader, you probably seen the same thing. So how did you perceive that?
Man, when 2018 came, I'm going to tell you an interesting story. I went to to the theater in Douala here to watch Black Panther in 2018. Oh, I was so happy. Everybody was like, when we left the cinema, everybody was like, Wakanda forever, Wakanda forever. Now everybody was like, this is the Africa we want people to see.
Okay.
And like, what took them so long? I was like, bro, the Black Panther has been existing for at least 50 years. You guys just saw it now. We've been reading the comics, So, the Black Panther was really inspiring. It actually helped a lot of young Africans to want to really tell African stories. We started seeing a lot of African superheroes coming up. A lot of young people trying to create their own heroes here and there to show Africa in a positive light, because that's actually who we are. We love to be inspired. We love nice things. My only issue with Black Panther, I think, is part 2. I didn't really enjoy part 2 that much. It was kind of melancholic for me. I didn't really enjoy it, and a lot of my friends too. I don't know if it's because we lost Chadwick. Maybe it's because of that sentiment that is still resonated in our hearts, that, man, we lost the guy, man. So that's probably it. I don't know, but I didn't really enjoy it. We had 2 sides. We had a lot of guys saying they should have recasted T'Challa. We have not had enough of him yet, man. They should recast the guy. What about Shuri though? Shuri's kind of cool. They said, no, man. I had guys telling me that, bro, you serious that Shuri can beat you? You think that if Shuri stands in front of you, she can beat you? I mean, look at her, man. She's skinny. And like, bro, but she drank the ooze. I'm like, bro, to hell with the ooze. Forget about that. She can't beat you, man. She's scared, man. They should have recasted the guy. So there was this clash between fans. Like, recast the guy. No, Shuri is also good, But all in all, it was all because we lost a hero in the real life, as well as we lost someone who was really playing the Black Panther role really well. Man, that was really sad.
Yeah.
But there is hope. I think there is hope for African content. Recently, Disney came up with an anthology of African animation called Kizazi Moto. So Kizazi Moto, I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it this weekend. But I hear a lot of nice things about it. It shows that's the Africa we want to see, That's the African, you see animation done by Africans, top-notch quality, is really good. Those are the African stories we should be telling. It's kind of like a Love, Death, Robots kind of anthology.
Okay.
You should check it out. It's really nice. Kizazi Moto, I think it's really nice. I'm going to check it out. I have some friends who worked on it, so it's really exciting. I really like to see what they did. The Black Panther was inspiring, man. It was really inspiring.
That's good.
I just wish they can do more with it, because the way the story is going right now, I don't see hope. I just wish they can do more to keep the hype, to keep the vibe that we had in 2018.
Well,
right now
they have they have the spin-off series they got coming out, as well as the son. I guess he's gonna be a new Black Panther, but they're gonna have the spin-off with the group of the females, the female warriors.
Yeah.
And they will have another spin-off for the people who live inside the city as well. So it's more of like the common people, I guess. All the different tribes. Yeah. That's
actually a good idea. But I fear that a lot of spin-offs may reduce the quality of what we expect.
Mm-hmm.
What do I mean? I think Marvel Studios right now, to me, it's a personal opinion. People can disagree with it. I think they're spewing out too much content and not focusing a lot on the quality of the content.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I'm a comic book guy, right? But since Endgame, it's been difficult for me to keep up.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. It's difficult for me to keep up. I hate saying that. because I'm supposed to be a comic book guy, but it's difficult for me to keep up because they keep coming at you with a lot of new stuff, and when you go to watch this new stuff, the quality is just not there. It's just not there. So, man, I think they should slow down on a lot of. I mean, I think that 10 years, about 10 years ago when they started with the Iron Man, I think they should go back to that formula and give us a bit so that each story has a lot of hype around it, you know. You remember when Iron Man started, there was a lot of hype around each story. Each story that was building up to the Avengers, each story had a lot of hype. But right now we have so much on the platform that, man, it's bringing down the quality. Let me tell you something. Back, a few years back, when a movie is coming out, let's say Captain America, I don't know, any Marvel movies coming out. Bro, I'm on YouTube all the time, checking out information online. I don't do it anymore. Why? I was talking to my colleagues the other day, but bro, what happened to us? Why don't we check out YouTube for the latest trailers anymore? And everybody, hey, that's true. Why don't we do it anymore? Do we stop loving comics? No, we read comics every day. So what happened? There's so much that is being delivered and the quality has been reduced.
Yeah.
So each story does not have enough time to breed, to generate its own audience, you know, to generate its own hype. So I think, hey, it's just my opinion, man. I don't know, people can disagree with it, but I think they should slow down.
Yeah. It makes sense. Like every month is something new. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, that's the last question I have for that segment. And if I go to my last segment, you know, it's called Digging in the Crates. And being a comic book reader, you do it digitally, you know. Some people still do physical, so you dig in the crates, you know, find that comic book, find that Batman, that Spider-Man book you used to read from your dad. You find that book.
That's the me though. That's the me though.
Okay.
That's the me.
And and music, you dig in the crates, find that CD, that vinyl, or them Afro beats, you love. You want to get that, put it on the wall, listen to it, and keep treasure. But I'm going and digging the crates with this interview, pull out some stuff that you said, so people can take one last thing away from the interview. And
sure.
With that being said, you got no. Oh, we can do a tour too. Let me get the question down. We can do a tour.
Cool.
With you get so many users now, you say you're getting ready to hit 100,000 users and whatnot.
We got 70K right now. By August will be approaching 100K.
Okay. And with that 100K, it might become some opportunities, from when your projects get picked up by a studio. Would you be interested in a studio picking up your project for an animation or a live action, or you would be something you would wait on?
Sure. I don't have any problem, man. If a studio approaches us with a good offer, we're welcome. We welcome them. Showbiz, appelle les gens qui reviennent. Je vais faire un tour là-bas. Sorry about that.
You good?
Sorry about that.
What project would you pick though?
So I'm going to pick the best sellers on the platform. We have Anaki, we have Kawana, we have The Artist. This is a story they call The Artist. These are our top sellers right now. I think if they're the top sellers, it means they're kind of good, right?
Yeah.
So so I think that I'll propose that for any studios that may approach us for an animation and all that. No, we're interested in animation, video games, and all that. The whole thing.
All right. What studio would you like to pick you up?
Man. Oh man. There's Disney. Disney's already interested in a lot of African stuff. Netflix too. Netflix is great. But animation studios in Japan are really what really interests me. There is also a studio I would like to work with in the future. It's called Triggerfish Animation. They do really good work. They're in South Africa though. They really do great, amazing work. I would like to work with these guys one day.
Okay.
But hey, I'm always open.
That's dope. That's dope.
I'm always
man.
open. Okay. Now,
yeah.
Let's switch the camera. So.
It should. It should be a little tab app by the mic. It should be a cam. Maybe you can switch it that way.
Oh man. Anyway.
I haven't been on the phone in a long time.
I'm just
I guess just flip around your hand. Like I guess just flip like this with your hand.
This is the truth.
Oh man.
Red today because
okay. Nice. That's nice setup. Hey, how y'all doing?
So it's 5:58. It's almost 6:00 p.m. right here. So everyone is preparing to go home. Yeah.
Okay.
So these are the guys. You guys need SPECKS.
Hey.
I was on this podcast. Hello.
Hey. Hi. Hey there.
Yeah. That's my art director behind the showbiz.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the house, man.
So it's all writers and artists, or what is
writers and artists?
Yeah. Okay.
The IT guys are not well. The IT guy is not here. Admin has his own section. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a nice setup. That's a nice setup.
So why at 5? People are so tired. The weekend, Friday, yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right, man.
Okay, that was about it. The guys are ready to go to the house. So.
All right, for people who listening, who's want to get your app or get your books or just follow you on your journey of being a comic book company owner and whatnot and publisher, where can they follow you and pick up your app?
So, my name is pretty much the same on all social media platforms. This Ejob. Now for the company is Zebra Comics. The same all throughout platform, be it Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, WhatsApp, Threads, whatever. Now for the app, you go to Play Store, Google Play Store, or Android or App Store. You can get the app. Just type Zebra Comics or African Comics, whatever. Just type Zebra Comics. You will see our app. Just download it and enjoy. It's all free for now, okay?
Okay.
You enjoy. When you open the app, you get like a month for free. You enjoy everything for free. So there's tons of contents in there. We have at least 200 episodes in there from different countries. From different stories. So yeah, there's a lot you can get. All African, pure 100% African.
Okay, cool. Man, thanks for coming on, man. You've been a great guest, man.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Sure, man.
What's up, y'all? I couldn't even get a contact review for this interview, but shout out to Ejob. Y'all make sure y'all support Zebra Comics to get their app, man. It's dope. They're doing great things and whatnot. And like always, man, you want to support my co-host, hit up Legacy Review on all social media. If you want to buy one of his books, hit up LegacyReview.com. You want to follow me at SPECKS706. And you want to be a part of the show, be a guest, hit us up at chillonthegreenbox@gmail.com or just hit us up at chillonthegreenbox on all social media.